Hello everybody, Sebastian Keynes here with another DragonHeir Silent Gods presentation. In today's video, I'm going to be covering a pre-gift event that SGRA has thrown for people that are anxiously waiting for the global launch, which will happen September 19. During this pre-gift event, you will have the opportunity to go to a website. The link I will post down below in the video's description, where you will have an opportunity to roll for hopefully what will be a legendary hero or one of the great epics that the game has to offer. And how do you do that? Well, you log into the website and you link an account, and then you come to the horn. So here I am in my main account, and I do see that I do have one loaded horn call that I can make. Through this horn, which we didn't really know what the horn did at the beginning of the beta season, but eventually it was clarified to us that we could actually summon heroes from it. We could summon commons, rares, epics, and even legendaries. For you to get a legendary, you're going to have to roll a perfect 20. Anything between 15 and 19, you're going to get an epic. And then lower numbers, of course, will get you the least ranked hero. In this case, and in the game, the rolls, the die was not properly balanced, of course. It mostly rolled towards the lower numbers. But you were able to get commons and rares out of it. And if you already had them, you would get these ores that you can, or SSNs, excuse me, that you can then use to craft your gear at the forge. The first thing that you want to do is click the pre-gift link below in this channel description and the video description. And you're going to come to this page. So you just click proceed, you go through the event rules, you can read them if you want. But when you click start here, it'll ask you to quickly log in. And so then you can log in with the account that you may already have if you're a beta player, or you can just create a new one for Global Launch Season 1. Here is the key that I want you to remember. If you were in the beta version, you are not going to be with the global launch players, okay? They're going to keep those separate, at least for this first season. For other seasons, they might join them together. That is still to be determined. But if you want to start fresh during global launch, this is a perfect opportunity for you to set up a new account and possibly start out with a great hero. Once you log into your account, now you can click start, and now you'll see a loading page, just like if you were to be logging into the actual game. Okay, so now that we are logged in, and you probably see the horn. I have not summoned for about 12 hours in this horn, so hopefully I have 2 that we can do. And I can kind of show you how to go through the process. And so that is the case right now. I do have 2 here that I can call. And I have seen actually higher numbers roll for this. So for this right now, I just click 3 attributes at random. So it said that 14. So the best that I can do is anything between a common and a rare, I believe. And then once you get the hero, then you can make a decision on whether you want to keep it or not for season 1. So in this situation, in this case here, I was giving Hexandra, one of the best rare healers of the game, actually. She was a starter hero in the game for all of us, and she could carry you to the end game. So she was phenomenal in that regard. We'll do another one just to see what we can get out of this. And we roll a 14, so it'll probably be a rare. Another great rare. Iona is very good when it comes to dispelling debuffs and actually providing some healing, especially if you were trying to form a Dauntless team. She could actually be used for the Temporal Vortex, which is the guild boss version of this game. And you could actually use it for Feywild if you wanted to make sure that the boss did not poison you to death. So for this video, these were 2 very good rares to get. Now, if then you can come in here, you click on it, and you can see all the heroes that you have summoned so far. So for my case, I would say, you know what, I like the healer, that's who I want to get. You could easily click, I want to keep this, and now I'm securing it. If I were to stop summoning right now, the hero that will be loaded into my account once you start the new season will be Hexandra. Just keep in mind that I think that there are certain steps that you do have to complete at the beginning of the season before you can collect the hero that you summon, but they're going to clarify more. They're going to clarify that more during global launch. So what am I hoping for? I'm hoping that I get a great hero out of this, and maybe something that I don't have. But what about you? What do you want to be looking out for? So here I'm back in my main account. So what are the heroes that you could possibly look out for and hopefully you can summon during this pre-gift event? I'm going to bring you a couple. There are some other ones that are very good for the early game and possibly towards the end game that you can possibly look for. So let me start just mentioning a couple here on the fire. Affinity. Flora for sure is one of the best fire heroes in the game. She's an excellent legendary. She can direct damage. She can do damage her own, and she can get your wild team really revved up. Another one that you could possibly look out for here in this game, if you only get epics, I would suggest that you look for to Nahan. She is also a damage dealer, and she can get your wild team ability going along with the comp that you put beside him. I think that Horus may be free epic for those that are starting a new account again. He definitely was for us in beta season 0. So I'm hesitant to suggest him because you could possibly get him for free. But if you hear from the grapevine that he is not one of the free epic heroes, you may want to grab him if you can, if you don't get a legendary. Eric, again, is another legendary. He's very good. He's wild and damage. You can do a lot of things with him. He was the free legendary that we obtained during season 0 for beating the Violet Dragon. So here's another one that if you summon, you can keep him if you're starting out, but I'm most likely thinking that they will probably do the same, and you can collect Eric as a free legendary when you are beating the new content in season 1. Here in the poison, you can look for Urgander. He is a very good tank. He was actually the preferred tank in the end game for Arena. He definitely did a lot of damage, and he can definitely take a lot of damage. And his immunity, his invincibility, along with the ability to control the enemy, makes him a superb legendary. In the epics run, if I had to pick one, it would be Furbath. He is also a very good tank. For many free-to-play players during the beta season, he carried them through the content, and part of that has to do with the fact that he heals his allies during battle. In the Dauntless front, the only one that I can now suggest, based on this roster right now, it would be Evilius. If you form a Dauntless team and you can get him going, by activating the Dauntless feature, and he has an attack speed up. He deals very good damage. He was definitely one of the best buffs that they did during season 0, so you may want to look out for him. When it comes to the epics, it all depends. It all depends on whether the pairing of Lightning with Radiance is going to get a better tank among the heroes that are going to be released during season 1. They have said that they're going to release 60 new rares and epics. If there's a better tank among those for these two affinities, then I would probably lean over to Chagral. He is a jumper. He's one of the few jumpers in the game. Very annoying in arena, and there is some content in the game. There was a dungeon specifically, I think, where he had side ads that he came in handy in dealing with them as a jumper. So there are two possible options there. I never got Lola, so I never got to test her. But I've heard good things about her, so that could be somebody else that you can consider bringing along, especially if you have a Dauntless attack team that you want to get going. She can provide that attack boost for you. In the Radiance front, so a lot of these heroes really were dependent on their rally mechanism to do damage, and I would say Asilia is possibly the legendary here that you want to look for in this affinity. Given that, well, in arena, she'll give you resistance, so you can get debuff. But again, everything about her is the debuff immunity, the cleanse that she can give you, the heals. That's what makes her a great defense hero in this faction, in this affinity. In terms of the epics, Marina. I guess Marina. She can do some damage. She can activate the rally for your team. So there's some content that you can use her to clear. Aside from that, I'm not a big fan of all the other ones that I got to test. Nessa, if you want to do some damage, she can help you in that regard, but it's not integral to the start. If you summon her, then you can build a part. Not somebody that you're going to go pick up right away. From the Frost, there are a lot of good Frost heroes in here. Oh my god, this is really hard to say if I would to only pick one, because there are 4 in here that I would pick up right away. La Sabre, definitely one of the heroes that I wish that I had. She has a shield, she has recover over time, she has a charm. Basically, you only can use your basic attack, and she locks you out. Very good in arena. She provides you allies with HP. She also gives you blind in this game, which your opponent does not have the ability to hit targets. So she is very good for any content in the game. And if I had to pick between all the Frost heroes that I think are good, she would be number 1. Number 2, Varna, very menacing. She can hit hard. So that's another one. Even though she's a support, she can hit hard. So this is another hero that I would, if I were to summon her through the horn, she's definitely going on the list. Third one would be Oster. Oster does a lot of damage. He was my main damage dealer in season 0. So if you are able to summon him, you definitely want to keep him. Urang was a good tank for me. I really liked him, especially based on the fact that he has an ally protection, and he can reduce the damage that is incoming to your team. He is not a bad one. He's not S tier, but he can definitely help you in clearing some of the content. When it comes to the epics, yes, I tested most of these, but the king of them all is Barash. He has an AoE attack, and he can apply buff immunity. But if you load him up with attack, he can do some damage for you. And one of my favorite artifacts to put on him was the one that gave me defense down. So he was a very good support hero that I brought in for not only to apply the buff immunity, but to also put defense down on my enemies. Lastly, when it comes to necrosis, I think that there is one hero in here that I'm going to pick. Is going to be Shardlock. He can do some damage, and you can definitely get him going with speed, with skill haste. You're going to get this Fear Reaper to pop up more often. So when it comes to the necrotic heroes, he is my number 1. The other one possibly would be Sylvester. He's a great support with his invincibility, and he's healed and invincibility and debuff immunity. For this affinity, those would be the 2 that I would focus on. For the epics, I really liked Sutluck. when it came to his immunities, or excuse me, to summoning the creature, he did some damage for me when I needed him, especially in City Trials. He was one of the staples of my team. And Tia, I used her in Grave of Rot because she had the debuff immunity. One of the few heroes in my roster that had this. So I made sure that she was part of that so I couldn't get poisoned. So those are kind of an overview of the type of champions that you can look for when you're summoning through this pre-gift event. I do hope and wish you the best of luck, and hopefully you can start out Season 1 with a legendary. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching. If you have any questions, please post them down below in the comment section. I will get them answered as soon as I can. Hit like and subscribe if you appreciated the information in this video, and I will see you all next time on another DragonHeir Silent Gods presentation.